right. Now it seems that you can hear me well. So let me start. I'm really happy to welcome you on the Lifeliqe webinar to show you some magic about how G Suite for Education can empower you teachers and your students in learning, specifically science. And I'm really happy to welcome also our guest, Nicholas Clayton from Puerto del Sol School in California, United States, who will share his story, his user tips, and his classroom experience with using Lifeliqe and G Suite for EGU. Unfortunately, Nick cannot be here with us today. He needed to skip to be here. So, but luckily he managed to record a video with his story and with his user tips that we'll be happy to share with you today. You'll be definitely able to ask questions, and we'll make sure that Nick will respond that to you, and we'll be happy to share these in the blog post that will be a follow-up to this webinar. So let me just quickly run through the agenda today. There are a few technical informations that you really deserve to know. I'll also run through Lifeliqe updates, as we just released a new web app update. So there are some new opportunities and functionalities that I'm sure can expand what you can do in your classroom. Then will share how he has used Lifeliqe in his classroom with G Suite, and I'll also add a few more examples how these two awesome tools can be used together. Of course, there'll be time for your questions and perhaps for your inspiration, your experience, your use cases that you can share with the audience here, or simply share your feedback with us, because we're always, all one ear, and to see what you think about what we're adding in the app. So a number of things that you deserve to know right now. Number one, we're providing an extended free trial of this webinar, which means that you'll have a chance to get the free access to the full app functionality for an extended trial period. So after the webinar finishes, my colleague will be sending out emails with the trial license. Moreover, if you're planning or your school is planning and looking at different science curricula for the upcoming school year, to provide a discount for either a classroom or a site or a school license for Lifeliqe. So feel free to ask for details. And also, we're always eager to help you grow in your teacher profession, and we'd like to motivate you and join our new upcoming webinars. And therefore, after joining 3 webinars, you'll be able to certificate of Lifeliqe Empowered Educator. So during this webinar, I'll share a secret code, a little password that you'll apply, that you'll submit in the form that we'll send to you after the webinar, where you'll prove that you watched the webinar and then to learn new things, and you deserve to get the certificate. Of course, as I said, after joining three webinars. This is the second one, and after that, that'll be the third webinar that we hope you to join. Now, I believe it's a good time to take a look at the updates of the Lifeliqe app. This is the homepage of the app, and on the first webinar that we dedicated to using Lifeliqe with Office 365 tools, we have shared a couple of new updates in Lifeliqe. One of them that those who are more familiar with the app could notice is that we've got the professional development for next generation science standards in the app. So that will help you to teach according to these new standards, these new methods, and these new ways that help you engage students in learning science and think more scientifically, do more evidence-based lessons and incorporate three-dimensional learning concepts in your classroom. The other thing that we also shared was our excitement from improving the quality of our 3D models. So all our app is now web-based and running on all different types of browsers. But what we're really happy about is that we were able to increase the quality of the 3D models, which can be now compared to the app that you would download to your device. So whether you're online or offline, we're able to provide really neat and smooth experience when working with the 3D models. So this is one of my favorite models, and that gets me to another update I'd like to share is that we are expanding our library of 3D models with new models every month. And this little shrimp, this little friend here, is one of the new 3D models that mostly you biology teachers or science teachers are able to use in your lessons. Also, we have upgraded the 3D the web app with animations that were not available in the web app before. Now, let me really look at the newest updates, because I was right now I was mostly summarizing the updates that we shared on the first webinar. Now, let me guide you through some more updates we have prepared. So, number one, we're really excited to have a new publisher in Lifeliqe, which is the Nevada State Library, who's our partner for the culture preservation project. And this is one of examples of how we'd like to help educational institutions with culture preservation, and how we could help digitalize artifacts of different cultures. So these are some of the artifacts of Shoshone tribes, the Native American tribes, and we'll be adding more later on. This particular channel is mostly focusing on school librarians and librarians, but and even though we're focusing on mostly science and STEM in general, we'll be adding more models of culture. Now, the other update that I'd like to share with you are some of the deep zoom images that have also expanded in our app. So one thing which is really unique about Lifeliqe is the microscopic deep zoom images that we have nearly 200 in the app, and that provide microscopic view of different phenomena and different objects. So I'd like to show you a completely new deep zoom that we have in our app, which is a deep zoom of oat, something that we get in touch quite often, like some of us even every day when having a breakfast. And let me show you how this little guy can get expanded and can grow bigger and bigger as we go deeper and deeper, zooming and this microscopic deep zoom image. So this kind of image or this kind of visual content can help us expand a student's imagination and show them how things work from inside. This deep zooms are not a new thing, and there are in Lifeliqe, and there are completely unique to Lifeliqe, but we're constantly expanding the numbers of these deep zoom images. And one example of a new 3D model, and I'd like to encourage you to read our blog and check out what updates we always prepare in the new app, as there are always highlights of the new 3D models and deep zoom images, as well as different resources, classroom tips, and different successful classroom practices of schools and teachers all around the world. And I believe that you want to get inspired by other people and other classrooms, other teachers using Lifeliqe in their daily routine and practice. One last 3D model that I'd like to share as a highlight of what we have prepared and in the new app update is the cow. So as you can see, you can view the 3D model from different particular details and highlight different parts to be able to show how animals like cow reproduce and how they live. And it really expands our possibilities of actually sparking light bulb moments among our students compared to, let's say, usual textbooks. The fourth update in the Lifeliqe app is the new languages that we have in the app. So number of you have been using Lifeliqe app and the language feature to simply expand the vocabulary of their students. Number of you before, in the beginning of each lesson, you use the visual models to simply expand, to expand the vocabulary of the students before you continue with the lesson. So simply students get the right way how to describe what they learn about before they move on. What we're really excited about is that we have included some new real world languages, which is Russian, Chinese, and also Dutch, thanks to our Belgian partner, i3 Technologies. So we've got some new languages that we can use for bilingual learning. So those of you who are trying to learn, for instance, Chinese, or our Chinese teachers with the Chinese classrooms can also learn English the other way around. So this is a very easy way how to learn the new vocabulary in science, and we all know that we learn new vocabulary best by learning simply visually. So these are some of the updates in the Lifeliqe app. So number one, the new publisher and the Lifeliqe app focusing on culture. Number two, new 3D model. Number three, new deep zoom images that you can find in the app. Mostly an update in physics, animal biology, and plant biology. I think that's it from me regarding the updates in the Lifeliqe app. And I'd like to pass the mic back to the studio where and now we'd like to hear and see what Nick Clayton has prepared for us and how he has been using Lifeliqe in his classroom. Just a quick introduction of who Nick is. I'm sure some of you more engaged in augmented reality and really discovering all the possibilities of visual media might have heard of Nick, as he's pretty active on Twitter, and I was actually fortunate to meet him in 2017, I believe, at ISTE, where this picture is from, where we had a new, actually the first test version of Lifeliqe HoloLens app, providing holographic 3D mixed reality images of Lifeliqe with use of this new piece of technology. And Nick was one of the first teachers who was able to provide us feedback based on which we kept updating and improving the app to what we have today. Nick is AR and VR ambassador. He's an elementary school teacher at Puerta del Sol in California. He mostly teaches students with special needs, and the following video that he has recorded for us, because unfortunately and eventually he could not join today's webinar, will learn more about what Lifeliqe offers and how they used it along with G Suite for Education in their classroom.
Hello, my name is Nick Clayton. I'm a special education teacher in Southern California, and I'm here to discuss a few of the things that Lifeliqe has embedded within its website. My district is a one-to-one Chromebooks district. We use Google Drive for many things, including the science lessons that Lifeliqe offers, and Lifeliqe's ability to integrate Google Drive and share directly to Google Classrooms, and integrate all parts of the Google spectrum are an amazing tool, an amazing integration for your classroom, whether they're special education classroom or general education. So I'm going to go ahead and go over some of the features. Logging into Lifeliqe is also integrated with Google. I'm going to go ahead and go over that. Once your school has received the licenses, you can turn up my screen there. You can log in through Google. So Google integration goes all the way down to the sign in as well. Students can sign in through that. And then Google has so many tools available for it. Everything you have available, viewing it by different subjects or grades. And then by standards, it goes by Common Core, NGSS, depending on your school, your district. It also has textbook correlations, which are really cool. So many different categories, ways to search. And then you have the 3D models on their own. And so I use a lot of these, a lot of the geology models. My students are really interested in connecting all the VR and AR that we do, um, the virtual field trips. They like to visit Guatemala and the volcanoes, the Ring of Fire. I have students that are really interested in the different sciences that like to view a lot of the models there. So we're going to go ahead and go here. Um, and of course, you know, if you're a Lifeliqe user, so many features to go along. We have the different labels that explore the different parts of each model. And then you have the ability to do quite a few different things at the bottom here. So they have related models that you can view. But then you can also, let me click off of this and zoom out. You can zoom in and zoom out by, depending on what device you're using. If you're using Chromebooks or a computer, you can zoom in and zoom out by pinching on the mouse pad. You can also spin the model around, so there's varying degrees of manipulation of the model there. And then if you're on an iPad or some other device, you can pinch and zoom also. And then you can click on the share button. So if you find a specific model that you're trying to use with your classroom, and that you find that you want to integrate with some part of your curriculum or part of whatever you're trying to specifically do in your classroom, or I don't know, whatever math model that you want to use, you go ahead and you can click on the share button, and then you have different types of sharing here. Let me zoom down my thing here. So there's a few options. You can take a screenshot. You can take a transparent screenshot, which just screenshots the model by itself. And then you can take those and you can save them. You can download them to your computer, or you can save them to Google Drive. So you have that option of integration there, just directly saving the screenshots in case you want to do create your own lesson, or create your own, or integrate it into whatever lesson you already have developed in your Google Drive. Your students can do this as well. So your students have the option of this is the same screen as the students would have. So they have the option of downloading those images or saving them to their Google Drive as well. Then you also have this link button where you can get a shareable link. So if you have a separate website, you don't use Google, you have that option there. You can copy it to your clipboard, and then you have the integration of Google Drive. So if you click on Google Drive, it will ask you share to your classroom, so you choose which class you have, depending on if you have different subjects, if you're upper grades, or if you have, you know, multiple. If you're an elementary school like we do, and we do electives where different students come in, you may have different groups of students. But anyways, it'll have all your, as long as you're logged in, it will have all of your classes that you teach here. So you click on a classroom that you want to put that into, choose an action, so you have the possibility of creating an assignment directly from Lifeliqe. You can ask a question, so it can just be something that you add a model and you just want to do just a brief like intro, or an exit ticket also. That could work for the ask a question action, or make an announcement if you just want to have students follow you to a specific model in Lifeliqe. So then you can click on that, it opens up in the window so you can do all those options that you have with Google Classroom. You can title it, pick which specific students you want to work with that model. So if you're doing small groups, or whatever it is that you want, if you have specific groups that you want to add that to, you can choose each student, title it, and it can be a separate assignment. You can even give points, so they can go on, they can look at this model, they can do a few things that I'm going to show you in just a second, and then they can turn that activity or turn that assignment in, and then you can give them a grade or give them a due date, give them a topic, all working right within Google Classroom. Let me go ahead and title this just so you can see. Volcanoes. Don't need instructions. I'm going to go ahead and assign. You can also schedule or save a draft if you want to mess with it and add different parts to it later. So I'll go ahead and assign it to your students. It comes up on your Google Classroom. I have that already here. So it should appear on your Google Classroom right away. Students can access that right away. And then just to show you what it looks like when it actually goes to the model. So they click on it and it goes straight to that same screen. So then from that screen, once you assign that to them, from that screen, there's also the option of augmented reality. Okay, and then once the students go there, they have the option of automatically uploading to Google Drive. So they have that Google Drive integration natively within that application. So it asks you, do you want to upload AR photos automatically to your Google Drive? And I'll say sure, so that it'll give that option. Well, it'll ask the students to approve it again through Google Drive if they haven't approved that previously. You see that little option down in the bottom right corner where it says upload to Google Drive. So then you can also switch that off at any time you want to, and then it will ask you. It will tell you what folder it's going to as well. So if you look on your Google Drive, the handy thing with Lifeliqe is that it actually color coordinates the folder, so you get that change in color. Anywhere in the Google Drive you can change the folder colors, but it just happens to change that, so it gives you the option of it gives you one that stands out so that you can easily access that folder. Go back and access that folder. So you have the options of doing a mirror image, so you can have the image be exactly what you're looking at on the camera, obviously, and then you can take a screenshot. Okay, once you take the screenshot, it'll save to your device, but it will also upload to your Google Drive. So it says right there, photo was saved to your Google Drive. So if you're using a Chromebook, obviously that picture is right there, but you can zoom in and zoom out if you look at the picture there. So if you're using your Chromebook, once again, pinch and zoom on your mouse pad to zoom in, so the students can zoom into the picture, see themselves like pointing to a certain part of the picture, and then they can take a screenshot. And that will upload directly to Google Drive. Once that's uploaded, they can then access their Google Drive and upload that directly to something like just Google Docs. So let's say we went to our Google Drive folder there, and I accessed the picture that I just took. Okay, you have the option of opening with. You can connect different apps, but then you can go into something like, let's say they wanted to add a new, and you wanted to add it to Google Doc. So they could do a quick picture on a Google Doc and do just a picture assignment. So insert an image from your drive. They can go directly to that folder within their Google Drive. It will also be in the recent folder. and they can integrate that, drag it over and add it really quickly, do a quick report on that picture. So whatever, I saw a volcano on my head. Obviously you can figure out your own assignments. Okay, but then you have the option of you can also edit that picture. So you can go to image options. You can crop the image, so you can change the size of the image. Students can you can actually do text labels on the image. I don't think it gives you access. Let me check and see. For annotating. They may be able to add it to Google Draw, so they can actually, if they want to annotate their picture and write over their picture, they can just insert a drawing. So from Google Draw, and then they can add the image that way. Go to Google Drive Recent. And then they can add the image this way. And then they can annotate over that image once they add it. So there's the option of drawing over that, making shapes, text box. They can write over their image, things like that. Okay, and then they can actually add that to a document, and then share that with the teacher. Turn that in. So just the simple addition of adding Google Drive and giving you access. I want to show you a project that my student did, so you can add that to any part of Google Drive, Google Sites. They can create a website from that. They can create a portfolio with all of their images from science, a science portfolio. They can create, there's unlimited possibilities with Google integration. But my student actually created a presentation. So this is Dewan, and he built a Google Slides presentation. He actually wanted to we were talking about the seasons at the time, and he saw the different science models on there. He actually saw the leaf models and the different there's one where you can zoom into the leaves, and there's one where you can just see a leaf by itself. So he saw the leaf model, and then he wanted to go outside and actually look at it in AR and take a picture of something that would correlate to the model that he was looking at. So he went outside and took a picture of the tree with all its leaves removed, and talked about the season, and talked about how there were no trees on it, and came up with this project on his own, and added this to his Google slide, annotated over it. Annotated over the Google slide, just like we showed you before with the drawing, and then he added to his slides after that and talked about the different things that trees do, like giving us shade and oxygen. So not only did he correlate that to the seasons, then he went further into researching and everything to do with that, with a tree and with the leaves, and it just became this whole project with him. He is actually an autistic student. He's on the spectrum, and he really connects with the technology side of this, and the augmented reality, and being able to see those, being able to manipulate those things in augmented reality are just a fascinating thing for him. And he loves volcanoes, So anything that has to do with, let me pull up my picture here. Anything that has to do with science, um, and him being able to do things hands on, uh, really allow for him to succeed in the classroom. And this presentation, I mean, he's reading at a first grade level. He's not a first grade level, but third grade level, and he's, you know, his academics aren't right there with sixth grade standards, but he's able to create these presentations. He's able to learn the uh, same things and the same science standards, just in a different way, using Lifeliqe and using this technology that gives him so many tools for using his different types of visual learning and different types of learning strategies that he has. Um, and then to go further, you know, if you do have students with disabilities in your classroom, maybe you have students with who are deaf and hard of hearing, deaf or hard of hearing, and they may, or students that have auditory disorders, auditory processing disorders. Um, Once you integrate that stuff into Google, then you have different types of options open to you. So, like on presentation, Google gives you the option of doing closed captions. So you can click on that, and it will actually write everything that you're saying right on the screen. And it's not grammatically specific, and it doesn't separate the sentences, but at least gives students another option in case they are different types of learners. So the ability of Lifeliqe to expand um, the learning spectrum for my students uh, is is kind of boundless, and I really enjoy using that with my students. I really enjoy seeing them, their eyes light up, and seeing them be able to use these tools to learn in a way that's not available to them in kind of a textbook or a pen and paper kind of way. Um, they can use Google to speak over things and have it typed for them, where they might not have that ability to type out a full paragraph or even correct sentences, and it helps them with their spelling. It helps them with everything. So um, Lifeliqe and Google and that partnership, that integration is just, it's a necessity for students with um, who are exceptional learners. So um, and it's really had an impact on my classroom, and I think you can see that it will have an impact on your classroom. I want to say thank you to Martin and his team, as well as Mark Anderson, for letting me see all the capabilities of Lifeliqe. And I hope you guys enjoy the webinar, and I hope you guys learned something from the capabilities of Lifeliqe today. If you need to reach out to me, I'm Crikey Potter. That's should appear right there. There you go. You can just pause it. CRIKEY POTTER. And that's on all the social media, so like Twitter. And my email is nclayton@vesd.net. Lifeliqe should give you that on the webinar, but I just like to put it out there. I love to get, you know, any kind of feedback, any assistance that you need with Lifeliqe or integration or anything. I'd be happy to help out, even the integration with Google. So let me know, and thanks for watching.
All right, thank you so much, Nick. This was really inspiring to see how Lifeliqe and G Suite has been used or is being used with students with special needs, and how it can really spark learning passion and light bulb moments in their classes. Now, Nick mentioned his Twitter profile, his Twitter handle, and let me summarize it once again. So it's Creaky Potter. Make sure to follow Nick on Twitter. He's really sharing a lot of awesome content. And as we are just talking about, learning passion, and we're all about sparking light students, I guess it's a time to share our secret code, our password that you in the form that we will ask you to fill out, and the secret code is lifelong learner. Once again, the code is lifelong learner. Please apply this code in the form to prove that you have watched this webinar, that you have learned something new, and you're really close to get Lifeliqe certificate. Happy that we had Nick on today's webinar. Nick, let's stay in touch, and I can't wait to continue making even more impact, and to continue with some other projects. Can't wait to see some more from your classroom. And now it's again my turn to wrap up what we learned about how Lifeliqe can be used with G Suite. Nick has shared some really awesome cases, and I'd love to just very quickly summarize what you can find in Lifeliqe, and I'll complete I'll add a few more examples that I believe deserve to get mentioned. So Nick has mentioned Google sign-in. You can use your sign-in credentials in Google to log in Lifeliqe. He's shown also how you can include your lessons and 3D models in the Google Classroom. He showed us how to use Lifeliqe with Google Drive, and specifically how screenshots, and how to take screenshots in augmented reality. And I believe we could share 2 more examples how those screenshots could be used for you to help you create some really engaging classroom resources, and that is Google Slides and Google Forms to make assessment, to make engaging quizzes to help you assess your students, whether informative assessment or really, grade them. So let me get back to the Lifeliqe app. And let me go back to some of the deep zoom images that we have been playing with. But let me perhaps choose a different one, which is this beautiful plant that I'm sure you have never seen from such a close distance. So I'll just quickly share something that we did not spend so much time with so far, and that is not just augmented reality, but simply taking screenshots of these models, and yeah, and I just realized deep zoom images don't allow to make screenshots of the models themselves, just shared to Google Classroom. So so let me choose one from animal biology. So let me choose, for instance, Let me choose the mosquito. Let me choose the anatomy of mosquito, which is an awesome model that has been created with University of California in San Francisco with a team that has been exploring how the Zika virus gets transmitted and what potential impacts it can have. So they helped us make this beautiful detailed model of mosquito, and let me show you how you can take screenshots as Nick showed us. So we can either make normal screenshots or transparent screenshot. And again, I can rotate and zoom in. And let me now show you, obviously, how to upload it to Google Drive. That's what we have seen, but I'd love to show you how to use these beautiful images in making a quiz. So after I'm done with uploading it to Google Drive, which might take a few more moments, I take a look in my drive, and I see it as we have seen in Lifeliqe screenshots. What's really great about the models that were made with the transparent screenshot is that they're way easier to upload in the presentation. So the example that I can show you here is the presentation that I made with a cell to show the difference between different types of cell. So we've got the cell structures, and you can see that I have made the transparent images to include them in my slides. I have taken the nucleus of both of the types of cell. I have also captured a screenshot of of their we use the term power plants of them, what provides them energy, which is mitochondria and mitochondrion. And I have captured the different other images with the powerful screenshot button. This helps my students. Conduct a research, do evidence-based learning, and enables me as a teacher to include next generation science standards better in my lessons. Also, there's a way how you can include these images in your quizzes. So also talking about cells, let me show you. I've done something similar. I have taken a screenshot of a part of a cell and created multiple choice in Google Forms. The other type of question that I have made is that I, rather than multiple choice, I have rather let my students open the link under the screenshot and rather explain in the text, in their in their own answer, how the plant cell work. Here Another way how you can leverage Google Forms is that you can, by using the link of the 3D model in the picture, you can take a screenshot. Sorry, you can take an augmented reality screenshot. So let me show you here, and actually upload the augmented reality image in that quiz to provide and demonstrate to demonstrate what I learned, and to prove that I have understood the topic. And what I just wanted to show is taking a screenshot and upload the image in the actual quiz. So let me get back to the quiz, and I can have my student add the file to prove, and with the right screenshot to prove they understood the topic. So they're supposed to select the right part with the right screenshot and upload the file to my quiz. So that's another way how teachers can assess knowledge of their students and what they learn and what progress they have made. And the other way is simply creating a multiple choice type of quiz again with checkboxes. So right here I have captured various screenshots capturing different parts of the 3D model, and I'm simply asking my students to depict the right answer again. So these are all the different types of questions that I can obviously create in Google Forms. What I really wanted to demonstrate is how easy it is with the Lifeliqe screenshot feature to simply depict the 3D model from the angle, from the point of view I really want, and use it for my resources and for assignments and for activities for my class. Let me go back to my slides and simply wrap up. So we have wrapped up the updates in the Lifeliqe app. We have learned about the new features that you can find in there. We have also learned about the integrations that we have in the Lifeliqe app and what are the different ways how you can use it. And we're really happy to have Nick Clayton on the call to show us what's the experience in his classroom. Now, I'd love to see if we've got any questions. All right, so the question is how to reach out to us in the most efficient and let's say easiest ways. Well, yeah, we're pretty quick with the emails, but also if you've got any questions on our support team, if something's not working well as you'd like, or if you'd like to let us know about any bugs, I think the support team is the quickest way. Also, we've got an online chat in our webpage, and that basically runs 24/7. So that can be another very quick way how to reach out. If your questions are rather use case, user tips, classroom oriented, I think the best way is reach out to me or my colleague Clara, and we'll be happy to connect with you, guide you through the app, and share some of the successful and inspiring practices that other schools are using in their classroom. So thanks for the question. All right, so let me thank all of you for joining today's webinar. It was a pleasure to see you, and I'd like to also thank Nick Clayton for joining us today once again. Please make sure to reach out on the following profiles, and we can't wait to invite you for the upcoming webinar. So stay tuned and have a wonderful day. Bye bye.